welcome to 2025. Anyway, so here we are, the portable Alexander Lawrence, the portable infinite, drinking water, living the life, and it's good to see everybody. Hello, and got my Todd Rundgren albums. Anyway, so I was like, this time of year, I usually do a lot of writing and kind of, start cleaning, spring cleaning, early winter cleaning, and I get rid of a bunch of stuff I don't need, just stuff that's been sitting around. There's probably stuff underneath the tables over to my side here that I probably haven't looked at. Like say I have some blankets I used on the 2013 tour with Deer Tracks. I don't think I've ever used them, but I was like looking, I was like looking for a notebook, and I'm still looking for this. I have this James Joyce thing that was essay that was published, and I'm still looking for it. I have the text, but I don't even know. But it was actually published. I should probably I wish I had some of those pictures. I might have one of the pictures. I don't know. There's a lot of pictures. Even though I have so much archive, there's still a lot of pictures that I've. So I went down to this shelf right here. I had a bunch of old magazines. I was just looking. And I posed a question. I mean, like magazine. I mean, I was watching people react to Train Spotting, and there's a moment in the film where they're talking about magazines, and they read about something in Cosmopolitan. Do people even look at magazines anymore, in that way? I mean, it's like, why do we look at magazines? It's just is it some kind of analog, weird kind of thing? That like people in their 20s just kind of pick it up or something. So I mean, that's my proposition. If for people that listen to this now, I mean, there's this whole kind of diseased internet culture that just doesn't mean really very much to me. It's great that I can talk to people and reach out, but I mean, we used to do the same thing with letters and even the early emails and stuff, and just actually meeting people in real life and stuff, and all that stuff. And it's like, hey, we don't live in the same city, so it's unfortunate, but and I don't think anything's improved with the internet. The internet culture sucks. It's just fucking stupid. It's ass backwards. It's like people I mean, for instance, David Thewlis, who I think is a great actor. There's a lot of great actors, but he's one, for instance. And I mean, when I think of him, I think of all these great parts. Naked movies, Mike Lee films, and Gary Oldman. Just all the people that were in the Mike Lee films. Tim Roth, but you watch these reaction videos of movies, and people see David Thewlis in The Big Lebowski, and they think, oh, there's that guy from Harry Potter. No, that's not. You don't want to. It would be like saying, oh, everything that Marlon Brando did before '74 was bullshit, and only those films he did with Val Kilmer and Matthew Broderick were checking out. Oh, hey, there's that guy that did that fat guy that did all those films in the 80s that really sucked. It's like, no, you're taking a David Thewlis. I mean, Harry Potter, which I mean should fucking die of obscurity next week. I mean, it's just, I mean, everybody that was in that movie was doing it for a paycheck. They weren't doing it. None of those guys read the books. None of them even liked those films. It's like if I was in a David Harry Potter film and someone came up to me and go, hey, Count Warlock, I go, get the hell out of my face, look at check out my early poems and stuff. But I don't know, I'm digressing anyway. So yeah, magazine culture, newsprint. I mean, all this stuff. Here's a newspaper I've had for years. It came from 1982. But if you look at the thing here, here's a picture of Public Image. It's the second time they played LA. And if you look, this is a great picture, but there's let's see, that's the guy from Outer Circle, Frank Big Frank from Zed Records is in there somewhere in the middle. And where's Brett Leon? Oh no, yeah, there's Frank's over there. That's Frank, the guy. He just died recently, and he was like original guy from Golden Voice. Let me see. And Brett Leon. Oh yeah, there he is. Okay, so yeah, here's Brett Leon right here, and then this guy right here, that white back, and the guy with the black cap right there behind, getting obscured. That's me. Public Image. I saw them all the first 5 times they played, I think. But I went to the show in Pasadena, the one where Mike Ness. And so, whoa. Okay, so yeah, here's another one. A lot of people. This is the Wall Street Journal, the parody issue, and I was at the newsstand when the guy came by from Wall Street Journal that worked there and bought up all the copies. He like Malcolm, who's that guy that owns the Wall Street Journal? Malcolm. I don't even know the guy. That leader, I don't even know his name. He wanted to buy him up. It's actually, and then let's see, yeah. And then I was in this article. It was the only time I can remember that Rupert Murdoch, I forgot his name, but there's an article that came out in the New York Times a few weeks later. I might have been in the New York Times before, but I don't know. But let's see what else. Here's another one from '92, the Bay Guardian. I have a bunch of issues of this. I've been carrying this around, but if you look at the back page, there's my poem Body, which was in my book. It's in both books. It's different versions. Body is in here. It's an analog. It's of course a version's an analog body, and then there's one. It's part of Audrey Hepburn, I think, too. Look at this date book. What year is this? This is 85. No, 86. Okay, so 86. Safari Sam's. I mean, poetry readings got coverage in papers and stuff. And let's see what else I have here. Okay, so here's a Jejune. I had some poems in here. What poems were in here, actually? I think I was like the first one. So actually, I'm in this was published by Owen Hill and Jonathan Lethem. Is in there here too. Vincent Farnworth, I've heard of him. Yeah, what did they put? 52. Let's see. Which one? What do you left? Oh, Car Coming. So stuff from Dead Man, Obvious Target. So this is like the early 90s. Oh wow, I got 4 poems in here. But yeah. So this is probably what year? You have a quote from Mina Loy here. Oh, they don't even have a year here. That's weird. But let's see what. So, welcome to the cabaret. Yeah, it's so early San Francisco poets. But I don't have any magazines here. But okay. So here's another. Oh yeah. So the Irving Rosenthal wrote something for Holy Tit Clamps, and I got this guy Larry Bob to send me a copy or two. Alvin Orloff is in there, and so everything's incestuous. So yeah, I did. I was kind of associated with this magazine. I wonder if I'm in the credits here, but this is pretty good magazine. I mean, they unfortunately, like every issue is different. Petra. Huh. Oh, Scott. Oh, Scott threw this together. Okay, kind of looks like his art. Okay, great. But my friend Scott Alexander and Elizabeth, they did that. So what's the big about this? Yeah, like LA, they do music issues, and it's like, do people pay to be in here? Because like none of these people ever did anything. Skylar, I never even heard of this person. Who's even in here? I don't know. These magazines, they always do these music issues, and the pictures actually look like an ad or something. Oh, here's that famous MIA thing, and people just so out of touch. And so here's here's a magazine I thought was pretty good, like back about 10 years ago, and it became. I mean, oh wow. Let's see. There's a. Let's see. Oh, okay. Yeah, they use one of my. Yeah, my friend. I sent the pictures to them. This is like the second time Angel Ceballos did photos of Foxygen and stuff, and it was like in the issue. This is so this is pretty funny. Oh, I guess 93. I guess that's pretty early, but it's late 93. I don't know. But I did pitch stuff, like maybe the year before, maybe 91 or 92. I was like telling some of the, at least the San Francisco Review of Books, which I have here next. I was telling them, hey, we should be interviewing Kathy Acker, Volman, Mary Gateskill, and then they decided to do a Volman piece. Like at that time, nobody was really covering Volman. They were just kind of covering the usual stuff. I wrote in Volman's in this one too, I guess. And this is 94. So, Volman went from obscurity to like being kind of embraced by the San Francisco magazine culture. I did write for Flipside magazine. This is back in around 97. I didn't even realize it existed. I worked at See Here fanzines for about a year in, say, 98, I guess. And I just wrote to them. I go, hey, and the person that did the Huntington Beach scene, the Michelle, I contacted her. I go, hey, maybe I could interview my friend. I'm going back to Huntington Beach, and I can interview him and talk about what's going on. So that's kind of a good thing. Here's one of the many magazines I did with Matt Jaffe. I was the literary editor, and there's all these kind of magazines that just kind of like look that are kind of good. I mean, I guess this is somewhere between Ray Gun and some kind of design heavy magazine but it's he wasted 50 grand like putting this on. We did like 2 issues, and basically we had an office too. So here's one. Let's see. Oh, I did an interview with Spence. What's this guy's name? Oh yeah, Alexander Lawrence. Spencer Tunick, who's a friend of mine, and like I sent all these pictures to these guys. I should have probably sent them some poems too. But what do they use? They just use that. I haven't looked at this one for a while, but it's somewhere. My interview is somewhere in here, isn't it? Oh yeah, there it is. Tunick. Yeah, they just used that one picture in the front, so that's kind of cool. Okay, so I I would find, like sometimes you work for a lot of magazines and they kill your story, so you just decide, okay, find someone else that's good. So I saw a masthead and I go, oh, they're probably. And sometimes the magazine wouldn't publish the full interview, which sometimes with artistic people or artists, painters, you definitely need a few pages. Philosophers, sometimes you can with bands you can do like the quick 6 questions and you pretty much get an idea what they're going to be like. But we did, I did. I was I think I was I don't know what kind of editor I was on this. I was some sort of editor for Siren magazine. She did 5 or 6 issues. It was kind of like, it was a bit. A lot of this stuff, we just kind of found like it was like, I guess it was kind of trying to be like Bust and Sassy magazine. And who's this? Raiding the Wave with Lisa Palak. And we, like a lot of the people that were kind of, we knew a lot of these people, so it was really easy to do these magazines. And I did an interview with Beth B for Siren, and which is on the Portable Infinite, but they never used it. But it was great. I think they did send me a check though one time. Let's see. Yeah, it has this like weird. I mean, everybody was like trying to do like really flashy ray gun kind of Fiona Apples in there. Sometimes we use the ads from. Let's see, what am I listed as? Oh, Catherine Katzens is in there too. Okay, so Missy's the editor. Samantha Grant, I don't know her. Catherine Katzens was my friend. I'd even get board. Am I a board advisor? Thanks. I didn't even get thanked in here. I thought, wait a minute. No, I can't. I was maybe this. I don't know. Who knows? I did get some money from this magazine. I don't know. I thought I was on the masthead. I think I don't know. Whatever. It's 20 minutes. Okay, so there's another big garden. So when I did Cups magazine, there was also other magazines that kind of existed. So I would just kind of redo my interviews and in a new style. So I thought Big Whoop was the San Francisco. One of the first, I did the college magazine, the Union. When's this? 87? Okay, I guess I was still there. And, oh, what's this? Oh, yeah, I should show you this. Oh, maybe there's something good in here. But this is like a famous, in Free Williamsburg. This is what I kind of put Free Williamsburg on the map. It was like the first kind of like, New York bands in New York, like let's see what's in here. Okay, so that's good. Oh wow, I got a lot of good stuff in here. What's this? Yeah, one of my stories is published in The Fold. Kathy Georges used to publish me a lot. I mean, she probably doesn't know I'm alive now. What is this? Wow, this looks good. Well, I thought this was like a bunch of pictures, but it's actually just a bunch of magazines. But so, what did I do here? So yeah, I would find these other magazines, like, because I was going to Howard Quinn printer. I would find these other magazines that were kind of similar, but I wasn't really doing music. But I thought these guys might. I did an interesting Douglas Coupland interview, and I did one with Colin Newman from Wire, so they published it. I was a book reviewer for the East Bay Express too. So I mean, in the Bay Area, there's probably about 5 or 10 magazines here. I mean, yeah, Siren, Spec. I was writing for them all. I was just kind of like something. I was kind of reaching out, and I reached out with these guys too, because like when we did Cups, we found out there was about 10 or other things, and this one was in Arizona somewhere, I think. So I think I did reviews of San Francisco coffee and stuff and coffee houses. Yeah, here we go. The San Francisco cafe scene, Java to go, and then some guy did some pictures. And then it has like some weird, I can barely even read it. So kind of, I mean, magazines did die for me originally, like around 2000 or something. Everything kind of went over the internet, but this is like 2005. I was doing music reviews for Out There, which was like in Spokane, Washington, with John Schneider. So I would just send him stuff, and he would just. They didn't have any music reviews, so I made some money doing that. What is this? So this is New York Times. So this must be this is the thing I showed you before. What is this? I mean, it's all over. Okay, so I have a lot of that New York Times thing. And then let's see. Okay, so I got, what is this? So 2007. Yeah, this is all New York Times stuff. So, behind me, I mean, I have boxes. I have probably 5 or 6 boxes full of well, I mean, there's more, probably 5 or 10 that are just like every magazine, most, old Mojos, old Q, old Select magazines and stuff. And I don't know. I mean, what it matters what's important to you. I mean, it's like music. It's like when a film, like, let's just say everything. Okay, so kind of art, museums and galleries are there. There's stuff that's selling. There's Christie's and kind of influences things, and there's a few art magazines. But I don't know. I mean, I think it doesn't really matter. I mean, there's no critical artist of the now painters that are. But if you're painting and making a living and selling paintings, I mean, that's probably more important whether than you got some critical apparatus. I mean, because to do I mean, art forum and some of these things still do exist, but I don't think it's not like it was in the 70s or 80s. So art, ballet, opera. I mean, they probably those things probably have donations and patrons and benefactors that just kind of keep it going, and they can't possibly make money from just ticket sales. But those things and museums and stuff, they've all become sort of elite kind of things and stuff. And then kind of more that's a pop culture that's not just the TV internet influencer culture. The stuff like the music. Because when you come out with a record, it's like because it's so easy to put your songs on Spotify or SoundCloud or something and just kind of like dump them there. And the I mean, what's the number? I mean, a few years ago, I read an article that there was 100,000 records released, but there's probably possibly more than that. And major labels only give you like like if you're good and people are coming to your shows, you don't really need the major labels or something. It's like somehow you have to get in people's faces somehow, and sometimes it's like doing stupid stunts or something. But I don't know what the room for music is. Sometimes it's just you have a good name or a good looking person in the band or something. But literature is sort of having to come back, or well, at least book sales. But it's a lot of books that I wouldn't even cut dead reading, like these like series and these kind of fantasy books or young adult books. I mean, I just don't even think that's. But hats off to them if you can make a living doing that crap. It's like I just don't see myself being fulfilled by just publishing just books that are going to appeal to a 15-year-old. That's like, I think that's like the death. That's why literature is like just feels so mediocre these days. Nobody's really, I mean, no, it's like I was watching this video. I mean, like, is anybody really right? I mean, like, it's hard to be a negative person in a way, I guess. It's hard to be real super negative because like just people are gonna tune you out and stuff. But if you have a story to tell, I mean, there's a way to. I mean, there should be. There's all these bands and all these writers and stuff, and nobody's like really dealing with war and you know mental health or whatever it is. I mean, the real problems and like doing something about it, or at least I mean, like let's talk about the Iraq War. I mean, almost no no band was against the Iraq War or had even one song about it. Paid any attention. I mean, most people write these fucking fluffy songs about love and heartbreak. Who cares? I mean, we've had like 80 years of that crap. So like nobody, the con. I mean, somehow, I mean, as an author, instead of I think there's already enough of those people that are like trying to appeal to 15-year-olds, and and even like, I mean, even like massaging their. I mean, it's uh, if I was a 15-year-old today, I would like to read people that were kind of like giving me a clue in art in a real smart way, like really how uh, life is going to be in the future and stuff, and like things, how, I when I was 15 or 20, I couldn't really envision myself as an older person and stuff. I didn't really see how I got to that place. I didn't even, even like, you know, I didn't really, as a person that's 60, I couldn't really envision this future for myself at all, So, I mean, writers, I think, there's, I mean, there's great books. It just, it doesn't seem like people are really talking on YouTube about great literature. They're just talking about the weakest stuff that they like. It's just what do they like? They're already like trapped into this Harry Potter young adult fucking baggage that it's like, to me it's like when I was younger, I just kind of, who are the great people, who's the great Shakespeare, Homer, whatever, well, I have to at least read a few pages, like what are they about, so I mean, you want to, in music or in art, you want to see who's the best, who are the people who are really doing the best stuff, maybe it's not always you can't always tell, but you can look back and go, oh yeah, punk rock is pretty interesting, that was pretty good, but in 78 nobody was like even interested in punk. In fact, most of 95% of the people hated punk. They were more likely to vote for Ronald Reagan and want to join the yacht club than listen to a punk record. That was like most people, at least the people I went to high school with and went to college with. I mean, those people were a bunch of squares that hadn't, like punk, this whole thing about this obsession with punk and post-punk. I mean, that's kind of something that's happened afterwards. That they've given that, a lot of these people have died, so they've given it like they put it in a museum where it's like just not really happening. Is there? Yeah, I see a few people looking at this. Is there any questions or? But I mean, like anybody that's even listening to this right now, is there any kind of, are there magazines that you read that have any influence over your life, or is it just like something you see at the doctor's shop or whatever? I mean, because I mean, most music and books, it's mostly like, for me, it's like mostly other people, or just I go see a band, and then there's an opening band, and I'm going, who the hell are these people? Or or like stuff I've just heard about recently, like Bug Club, or this or that. It's by accident. It's like it's just an algorithm. It's like you're looking at other stuff, and all of a sudden the Bug Club comes up. Or I was like, because they're on Sub Pop Records, I'm vaguely familiar with it. Let's see. Okay, well, there's no questions, and anyway, let's see what. Okay, so let's put this away. Let's see, what do I have anything down here? Oh yeah, so like, yeah, this is like a good instance. Like, I don't know, I don't see this happening. I mean, like, because I was interested in George Bataille in '87. I saw this on the newsstand, and I just bought it because it's probably pretty expensive too. I don't even know. Let's see what I'm only. Well, I don't know. There's no price tag on it. I don't think. But what would a person do that? Like a person that like. I mean, I don't know. I don't think George Bataille is on hitting too many covers and magazines anymore. Or should I? And and then we did this magazine in beginning of '98. Just it had Genesis Peorage in it. Just because he was like my neighbor and stuff, and just a bunch of writers that were kind of happening in New York because they were like friendly and they would allow us to take pictures of them. But doing a magazine is fun. It's kind of it was like and most publications, even like these Paris Review or the Dave Eggers Project or whatever. I mean, it's like publishing stuff that you like and publishing your friends and publishing yourself, and it's very incestuous. And I don't think it's really hard. I mean, I haven't. I wrote a thing about like back in the '80s when I was like sending out poems and stories. At the beginning, very few got accepted, but once I kept on trying and trying, and I don't think my stuff got better, but more people, I think, more people would take chances on me, or and then when I started doing my own magazine, people started publishing me more, and it was very much like they publish me. It's like, okay, what are you gonna do? We publish you. What are you gonna do for us? I mean that was my situation. Fiction Collective too. Um, Cups magazine. I mean, well, the whole time I was at Cups from say '93 to '98, '99. I mean, we there was like three guys that were really into Harry Matthews, Sorrentino, David Markson were kind of like, and maybe even throw in Sukanik, Ronald Sukanik, and and then the publishers that were really into Grove Press, New Directions, Coffee House Press, say, uh, and FC2 and Dalkey Archive Press. Those were like presses that we kind of like gave a lot of attention to and stuff. And so I got mixed up with FC2 for a while. They were going to be the original publishers of Five Fingers Make a Fist, but by 96 or 97, like it was like, hey, what happened? I moved to New York. I moved from San Francisco to New York, and we were still covering FC2. We were still kind of in the FC2 world at the time, but and they were those, but it was like, and some of the writers associated with FC2, some of the main people were sending me stuff, or we were, and then it was like, hey, what happened to my book? What's going on? It's like, let's stop talking, quit sending me stuff, requests to interview you or publish or promote your work, and let's start publishing my book. So since it didn't happen, it was a big waste of time, I think, because like, I mean, like any kind of group, whether it's Eggers or Albert Knopf or whatever publisher, they have their stable of writers, that they publish, or the people that they want to be associated with, and they promote that kind of stuff. And it's like, and so what do? As a young writer, you start your own magazine, I guess, and do a trade off, because like it seems that seems to work better. So and a lot of writers today are just kind of aping. It's almost like a karaoke culture anyway. It's like just these writers that are in the MFA programs, they're just going back and doing like writing as kind of like a Pinterest or whatever. Just kind of like they're just kind of copying. They're not really. They're just kind of rewriting the great stuff from 20, 30 years ago and stuff. It's like, well, I read those guys. Why do I got to read the new version of the guy? Like you're trying to be like Kerouac, Bukowski, Raymond Chandler, or whatever his name is, Carver or whatever. Okay, so yeah, I didn't mean to go too long, but I was just, I still read magazines. I still check them out, because I'm interested in like the whole thing, the design, the art of it. I don't know if you are, but yeah, send a question. If you're not now, send it later. Okay, all the best. Keep the resistance going. Don't spend don't spend time being negative. Be positive. Thank you.